Have you ever imagined carrying another person inside you? A dark and violent entity that takes control without warning, driven by a tragedy you can barely remember? The story of Rose Canton is exactly that nightmare, a spiral of chaos that transformed an innocent life and cost her everything she loved. And today, we are going to dissect every fragment of that fractured mind. Hey clickers, subscribe with the bell activated. Comment on the content you want to see on the channel, share this video to help us grow, and leave your hype. It helps us a lot. The divided persona of Rose Canton is one of the most tragic and complex cases in DC Comics, a condition rooted not in scientific experiments or mystical powers, but in a deep and devastating psychological trauma suffered in childhood. Before she was a feared figure or a tormented wife, she was just a girl. During her youth, the protagonist witnessed the brutal murder of her parents at the hands of criminals. The shock and horror of this event were so overwhelming for her young mind that her psyche fragmented as a primitive and desperate defense mechanism. To cope with the unbearable pain and feeling of helplessness, a second personality was forged in the fire of her subconscious. This new identity, known as the Thorn, was everything the scared young woman was not: aggressive, confident, ruthless, and consumed by a visceral hatred for criminals. While the primary personality remained that of a gentle, kind, and somewhat shy botanist, the secondary personality became a lethal vigilante. The trigger for the transformation was darkness, or the presence of wrongdoers, causing the Thorn to emerge to hunt and punish those who resembled her parents' murderers. The most terrifying aspect of this condition was the complete dissociative amnesia. The botanist had no knowledge of her other half's existence. She lived her life with inexplicable gaps in time, waking up confused and with no memory of the nights of violence perpetrated by her counterpart. To her, they were just blackouts, lost moments she couldn't account for. The Thorn, on the other hand, was fully aware of her host's existence, viewing her with a mixture of contempt for her weakness and a distorted sense of protection. The main character's life changed drastically when she met and fell in love with Alan Scott, the original Green Lantern. They married, and for a time, happiness seemed possible. However, the shadow of the Thorn loomed over the relationship. The vigilante saw the hero and any man as a potential threat, an imminent danger to the purity and safety of her counterpart. The internal conflict intensified, with the protective personality becoming increasingly hostile and unpredictable. The breaking point came when the protagonist discovered she was pregnant with twins. The fear that her violent personality might, in one of its outbursts, hurt or even kill her husband and her own children became unbearable. Consumed by anguish and despair, she made the most painful decision of her life. She fled, abandoning Alan Scott without any explanation, to protect her family from herself. After giving birth to her children, Jenny Lynn Hayden and Todd Rice, who would later become the heroes Jade and Obsidian, she gave them up for adoption. It was the final sacrifice of a mother terrified by her own mind, choosing a life of loneliness and torment to ensure the children's safety. For years, she lived as a fugitive from her own body, fighting a silent battle against the darkness that dwelt within her. Years later, fate would reunite her with the family she had abandoned. The reunion was marked by shocking revelations and confrontation. Her children, now adult heroes, finally discovered the truth about their mother and the condition that had afflicted her throughout her life. In a climactic confrontation against a threat, the Thorn emerged with full force, more dangerous than ever. In a rare and fleeting moment of control, the botanist's primary consciousness resurfaced. Realizing that the dark entity would never be contained and would always be a threat to her children, the protagonist committed the final act of sacrifice, taking her own life to destroy the Thorn once and for all and ensure her family could live in peace. The dual personality of Rose Canton was not a power, but a curse born of tragedy. A psychological wound that never healed, and that, in the end, cost absolutely everything. So, did you enjoy this deep analysis of the fractured mind of one of the most complex characters from the Golden Age? Her story is a dark reminder of how trauma can shape us in terrible ways. We want to know your opinion. Comment below what you think of this tragic journey. What other character with a complex backstory would you like to see dissected here on the channel? Leave a like so we know you enjoyed the content. Share it with your friends who are also comic book fans and help our community grow even more. Your interaction is essential for us to continue bringing these stories. Thanks.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret.